Hi, following the first part of this PayPal method tutorial, now I'm going to insert all this in our web page, in our example. Okay, first I have to execute the npm. Okay, I can npm run serve. My web is not online, my web page. In a second it will be online. Meanwhile, I will show the code that I've already inserted in my card. Okay, I will make the comparison between one and the other. First of all, what I did is show a card like in the previous tutorial. I already am showing a card. I added a clear list option, which is a function that cleans the products. Here, as you can see, put it to null, so it cleans the list of products. And that's what I just added, which is a button which says payment. Okay, and finally, just like in the tutorial, I added the div ref PayPal, which is where it is the place we will show the options for payments once it's loaded. Okay, now the reason I added this pay button is because I don't want it to load the payment methods at the beginning. I wanted to load once I press the pay button. Okay, just like we're going to see here. And I'm going to show you. If I go to shop, I'm gonna press two things to buy. Again, here I have the clear list. Okay. And they have a price of $44 and $45. And if I press on pay, it will load the card. Okay, here it's loaded. Okay, this is this section here from the PayPal, from the bottom PayPal to the powered by PayPal here. It's what we see. It's exactly what was replaced inside here in this line here. So the thing is that I created this button because I don't want it to show it at the beginning. If I don't create a button and I add it in the mounted, what will happen is that each time I load this section, it will always show the PayPal options down here. I don't want it to be like that. I want the user to load the PayPal options only when he decides to press this pay button. You see, I don't want it to show it at the beginning. That's the only thing I did, the difference I did with the tutorial, and that's only for commodity. Okay, if I go to the JavaScript, what I did is first add this payment method, which is this is the method linked to this button, and it will execute exactly the same lines as we had in the tutorial. Okay, you can check it out. It's exactly the same lines. Yeah, is like 5 lines or 4 lines, which are exactly the same as here. As I said before, the only difference is that these lines are executed once we press the payment button, and it's not in the mounted here. I don't want it to put it here. I put it here. Okay, that's the only difference. Okay, the rest is the same. The set loaded is here, and it creates I have this loaded as well. I'm not using it, but I have it. I have the window PayPal option, everything exactly the same, and thanks to the same lines, if it works for you, it should show, as you can see here, it should show this, because this is what the set loaded function does. It creates all this section here. Okay, great. So if I go back to the code, you will see it's just the same thing. Now, where are the differences? How did I change a bit more the code here? First of all, what I did is add my ID of my store here. Okay, in the example they have, it says your client ID. You will have to pass it and replace it and pass your client ID, because if you don't do that, it won't be able to load these buttons. If you see that it doesn't load, it's because that's not created yet. You haven't changed the app. You haven't put a valid credential client app ID. Remember that to find it, you have to go here and copy this one, okay, from credentials. Okay, great. So next, I made some changes because, as you can see, the most important section is the create order section. Okay, The create order, each button, all the buttons in general, have the option to have this section, create button on approve and on error, okay? The create order is the order itself. Each time you press a button, you create an order for payment, okay? The order is generally created by these lines here, which has an array of product units, okay? The units the product units, the products you want to charge, okay? You want the user to pay for. Now, there's a small problem. It is that PayPal has a limitation, which it doesn't allow us to put more than one product. And so you can see from these brackets to these brackets, this is a complete object which represents one product. If I want to add more, I should just put a comma and add here another product, okay, like this. If you want to add more and more and more, the problem is that for now the API that PayPal gives us is limited only to one product. So what we did is find a workaround, yeah, a small cheat. We cheated a bit and we added. Really, what we did is just, if it doesn't allow us to create a list of products from our carts and charge them, what we did is create a one super mega product, which is composed of all the products. It's a cart, really. What we are charging for is one cart, okay? It's a complete cart. And to do that, what we did is create three variables. One that represents the description. It's a text, okay? It's just a text. The other represents the currency, which will be dollars by default, USDs. And the third is the value, the amount of money we want to charge for the description, for what we have here, okay? Now, these variables, we will modify them up here in a one specific part, which is related to the previous tutorial in which we had the array of products, okay? If you remember from the previous tutorial, what we did is receive the list of products and add them, push them to this array, which is initially is empty, okay? Now, these products are shown here. As you remember, if I press here buy and buy, this is the array of products shown as part of the cart, okay? So what we added to the code is, besides receiving an array of products, we also added these lines here so we can start populating or adding information to these variables that later on we'll use down here, okay? And how they will be affected each time this function executes and receives a new product for the cart. Because remember, each time this function is executed, it receives a product to add to the cart. We first add it to the array, and then what we do here is add its information to the description. What we're doing right now here is saying that PayPal description is equal to the previous values PayPal description. Initially it's empty, plus the name of the product, and then we put a comma, okay? So eventually what we will see is the list of products, the name of the products, one after the other, it's separated by commas, okay? What we did to the PayPal value is very simple. We just added the value of the price of the product, we just added to the cart. So again, it's the same process. The PayPal value is equal to the previous value of PayPal, which is the of the price, which is 0 at the beginning, plus the value of the product we just added, which is 10. The next time we add a new product, it will contain the previous value, which is 10 plus whatever the new product is. For example, 40, which will be turned into 50. And next time will be 50 plus 10, for example, or whatever. It will be adding the value of the complete price of all the products together. Okay. If we want to show it, we can go here and add here under the. We can always put down here under this an H1, for example, saying total price. Total price, 2 points, and just to test that everything works, we just can put here first we'll put the total, not the total price, but I'm not using it well. PayPal, the description. I mean, I don't know, this card description will be that, and the following one will be like with a BR. Let's put BR here to make it jump one line. It will be the, let's put this here. It will be the card total price. Okay, and that's gonna be the PayPal price. So let's PayPal value. Let's test it and see how it works. It should show. As you can see, it's already showing something. Let's do it again. I go to shop section and I go buy Kelly, which is 44. The card total price is 44 because there's only one card element and only one product in the card, and it's Kelly. Now if I add one more, then it's Kelly and Danny. The list is growing. Okay, this is what we're going to send to PayPal, but the price is now 89 because it's 44 plus 45. Martha is 80, so now it's $169. Okay, we can always add the dollars if you want. I haven't added the dollars there. You can add here USD. Okay, just to say that it's dollars. Okay, dollars. Okay, great. Now we have those variables defined, or they're changing with each product that comes into our list. You should also add these options here in the clear list. If you clear it, you have to put the PayPal description back to nothing, to empty, and the PayPal value total card to 0 as well. That's important because if you add the clear option, you have to put this back to 0 and card description to nothing. So buy again, Martha, and there. Okay. And finally, to test our method to payment, we just use this PayPal description and PayPal value variables, and we replace them here. We're going to put this PayPal description here in the description, the value here, and the currency. By default I put it on USD. I try to put some kind of like a select. You just keep it on USD. Why? There is no need. You can just keep it steady on USD. Okay, there is no problem with that. Because in theory, if the user is from another country, they will create the change. It will change the currency automatically. But if you are fixated with adding that option of putting euro, for example, instead of dollars, then you will have to activate that in the PayPal section. Okay, you have to edit it in the. Sorry, the login is expired, but you have to change it here as well. In the app credential, you have to add somewhere in the settings. I'm not sure where, but you have to look for it. You have to add the support for more currencies. Okay, great. So if we try it now, let's try it. Go to shop, and I'm gonna buy these ones here, 3 people, and I press on pay. Now it will show me the PayPal section as we mentioned before. And now if I want to pay with PayPal, it will, sorry, it should show this. Okay, sorry, it's showing this. It went to the other screen. It will show this option here. If it doesn't show you this, it means that there is some problems. You either did not send the values correctly, or you are not having, or your credentials are wrong, or whatever. And up here, if you want to see, it will show you the data about the card you're paying. You're paying for Danny, Kelly, and Martha, and the amount of money that you have to pay for it, which is exactly what it represents, what we shown to the users there. Okay, you can choose either PayPal to pay with, Visa, because we are inside the PayPal system. If you want to pay for it using a card, you can use down there the other options. It will be exactly the same. There's no problem. If I press on continue, it will, this test buyer precisely, in your case, it may require, by the way, before I forget, it may ask you to log in. Remember, you should log in with a testing account, not the original. You should log in with one of the accounts. You should log in with one of the sandbox buyer accounts. You cannot log in with your normal account. You have to log in with one of these ones here, with either, let me try to reload, with one of the accounts you have here, with this one, or with this one. It has to be a personal buyer account. You will have to log in with it. It will probably ask you for it. In my case, it didn't, because I already have I already am logged in with one of the test payment with these ones. I'm logged in with one of them. But if you're not, it will ask you to log in, and you will have to log in with one of them. So once you can see, because my user is in Spain, it changes to euros, 153 euros. And then I can pay now. And once I pay, it goes back here, okay? And in my case, it says payment successful for a very simple reason, because here, it should have gone in here. It passed through here. It put this boolean to true, okay? The piece paid for is a boolean, which I put to true, okay? Which I defined here initially with false, okay? And because this boolean is a visual control boolean, it controls either if it shows this or this. If it's false, this is the same as putting something like this. Equals to false. Okay, it's the same thing. If it's equals to false, it will do this. If it equals to true, it will do this. And because this option turns it into true, it will show this payment was successful, as it's shown here. Okay, and with that I can confirm that the payment was successful, the money was extracted from the testing user, and everything went well. Whatever you do afterwards is up to you. You can, instead of only showing that the payment was successful, I recommend you have to make changes on the database, so you can store, for example, the order ID. The order has an ID, you can store it. So tell the user, this is your order ID, keep it, and you can use the order ID to store in your web page, in your database, because you have to start taking notes and start, for example, taking information of where to send the order. It will be here, the order address as well. Or either if you're not storing it by yourself, which is another thing you may be doing. Okay, you have to store, for example, the list of products that were paid for, and you have to show the user the order he already created. If you go to Amazon, you will see that there is a section where they show you the previous orders, the previous payments you have done. So all that information, you have to store it in the database. So from here, I recommend you to do some kind of request to Firebase and store this information, which is relevant to the user itself. Okay, and with that we finish our tutorial. You should follow these lines, or follow the tutorial. It is a good PayPal checkout tutorial to finish this section.